So what type of diet is ideal for you? So there is no single diet that's best for everyone. We really have to tailor it to your food allergies, your sensitivities, and it depends on your diagnoses. But there are certain principles that I recommend across the board. So I always recommend a whole foods diet. So that means nothing processed. You don't want something with a long ingredient label. I recommend 5 colors a day, which means you want colorful berries, carrots, purple cabbage, green vegetables. So you want a broad spectrum of colors because then you're getting all the antioxidants in your diet. You want to eat organic as much as possible to avoid the pesticides and the GMO foods. If you are on a budget, I recommend at least get the dirty dozen items organic because those are the highest in pesticides. Incorporate good fats in your diet. So by good fats, I mean like avocados, olive oil, nuts. Good fat is so important for your brain, for your hormones, and good fats help to keep you full. You want to have clean, organic, wild proteins in your diet. So this is like pasture-raised eggs, organic chicken, organic turkey, wild salmon, and then grass-fed beef. If you're vegetarian, then recommend legumes and lentils and nuts and seeds. Vegetables. So vegetables are the most important part of your diet because vegetables are so anti-inflammatory and they give your gut microbiome all the good fiber it needs. I always recommend eat protein, fat, and fiber at every meal to keep your blood sugar stable. So you never want to just snack on a carb by itself because then your blood sugar just goes up and down. And then lastly, it really depends on your condition. So if you have diabetes or metabolic issues, I may advise on cutting back on grains in your diet. If you have autoimmune disease, I may advise on avoiding gluten, dairy, and lectins in your diet. So that is something I specialize in my practice, is helping patients navigate their diet based on their diagnoses. So this is a food pyramid that I drew, and I put vegetables at the bottom because vegetables, like I said, are the most important part of your diet. You want to aim for, I always tell patients, 1 pound of vegetables per day. It sounds like a lot, but it makes such a difference. Vegetables are the key to reversing most chronic diseases, whether it's hypertension, diabetes, heart disease, autoimmune disease, and preventing cancer. So you want all different types of vegetables, cruciferous vegetables, leafy greens, colorful vegetables. And then you want the good fat and protein at every meal. You can have a little fruit, like organic apples, berries, seasonal fruit, and then a little bit of basmati rice, yams, and then a little bit of spices. Turmeric, again, is very anti-inflammatory. Cinnamon is great to sweeten up your food. And then tea and coffee I put at the top of the pyramid. So this is my avoid list. So I definitely recommend avoid refined sugar in the diet because it's so inflammatory. Try to minimize or avoid alcohol if you can. Dairy I put as an avoid because today I'm talking about gut health and there's such a prevalence of lactose intolerance, and so that can cause a lot of bloating issues for patients. Trans fat. So trans fat is deep fried foods or hydrogenated oils, very bad for you. Processed foods, preservatives, and your food allergies, whatever they are. So what are the top food culprits for IBS symptoms? So again, sugar and artificial sugar. Gluten. So gluten is the protein in all wheat products. It's also in soy sauce and it's in oats as well, unless the oats is certified gluten-free. Gluten sensitivity is definitely on the rise, and this may be due to the fact that most wheat products are genetically modified and hence they're inflammatory on the gut. Dairy, again, because of the prevalence of lactose intolerance where people can't break down the lactose sugar, it causes a lot of bloating. Inflammatory oils, so these are like the vegetable oils, canola, corn, soybean oil. Preservatives, and then lectins. So how many of you are familiar with lectins? So lectins is that outer protective coating of legumes and whole grains, and it's also present in some seeded vegetables. But I'll give you an example. So like a bean has that outer coating, and it was designed that way. It's the defense mechanism of the bean to withstand being digested. Because the ultimate goal is for that bean to get through your digestive tract and become a plant somewhere. So it's not an issue for everyone, but for patients with irritable bowel syndrome, the lectins can cause gut inflammation, bloating, and pain. So I'll have patients who tell me when they eat quinoa, they get immediate abdominal pain. Again, because quinoa has a nice outer coating. So certain seeded vegetables like cucumbers, bell peppers, and zucchini, these also have a lot of lectins. If you want to learn more about lectins, I highly recommend the book Plant Paradox by Dr. Stephen Gundry. Fascinating book, fascinating. So what are some gut healing foods? So if someone is having digestive issues, whether it's IBS, or they're having a diverticulitis flare, or food poisoning, or they're having a viral gastroenteritis, these are typically the foods that help them, that are easy to tolerate on their gut. So typically we'll do soups and stews with bone broth. Again, bone broth is rich in glutamine, which is healing to the enterocytes that line the gut. White basmati rice. So again, basmati rice has no lectins, and it has a relatively low glycemic index of 55, so it's fairly well tolerated. And then ghee. Ghee is clarified butter, so it's butter that has had all the casein and whey proteins removed. Ghee has been used in Ayurvedic medicine for centuries. It's very well tolerated by patients. Fermented foods, so these are like the sauerkraut, kimchi. Typically vegetables, I recommend cooked. If you're having any digestive issues, start with cooked vegetables. Do organic cooked leafy greens or steamed vegetables. And then you want to have organic eggs, chicken, wild fish, grass-fed beef. You can use ginger in your cooking. You can have ginger tea or put it in soups. Ginger is so good for gut motility. And then turmeric. Turmeric is the yellow spice used in Indian cooking. And it has an active compound called curcumin, which is very anti-inflammatory on the body. So eating mindfully can help IBS. So a lot of us live very crazy, fast-paced lives where we're eating on the go, we're eating in front of a computer screen. So that's not very good because that can interfere with the way your body processes the food. So sometimes preparing your own food, getting in touch with your food, that sets the stage for a healthy digestion. When you smell your food, that allows your body to make the pancreatic enzymes that's going to help digest it better. Eating in a relaxed atmosphere is so important because of, again, the brain-gut connection. You really want to avoid rushed meals. Eat mindfully. The other nice thing is if you eat mindfully and enjoy every bite, you're less likely to overeat. You really want to focus and chew your food, so important. Enjoy food with friends and family and eat in a happy atmosphere, so important. There's even research now showing that meditation can help patients with IBS. So this is an example of a colorful, clean whole foods meal that I made and I shared with my patients on Instagram and Facebook. So this is a wild salmon with pineapple salsa and an asparagus stir fry with white basmati rice. So I wanted to bring this up because pineapple actually has natural digestive enzymes, something called bromelain, that helps you digest your proteins. And it tastes amazing too. So it's nice to add a little pineapple with your protein. So 5 colors a day. So this is like a breakfast that I'll have. This is a pasture-raised egg, cherry tomatoes, avocado, and then organic blueberries. You want to feed the microbiome. So this is a purple cabbage salad with a tart lime dressing. It's absolutely delicious and crunchy. And you can make something similar as a sauerkraut as well, purple cabbage sauerkraut. It's very good. So if you like these kind of pictures, follow me on Instagram, Facebook. I like to send these ideas out to my patients and get their feedback. I like to stay connected with my patients. Okay, fennel tea, if you haven't heard of it, it's amazing for digestion. Fennel naturally promotes GI motility and it can help with gas pain. It's great for IBS. In fact, in Indian culture, people actually chew fennel seeds at the end of a meal because that helps with digestion as well. So what are some other natural ways to manage symptoms? So I already mentioned that Digest Zen essential oil. That is amazing. That's made by doTERRA and it works topically. You just massage your abdomen and it brings significant relief of abdominal discomfort. Digestive enzymes. So enzymes help you digest your food better and there's so many kinds out there. There's amylase, lipase, there's ox bile, there's bovine pancreatin, there's bromelain from pineapple, there's papain from papaya. And typically I'll give a patient a combination one that's really strong and it works amazing. And in fact, it can help patients handle some of the lectins and some of the things they're having trouble digest. So if they take the enzyme 15 to 30 minutes before they eat, they're able to digest a lot better. Probiotics, again, we spoke about probiotics, so important. It definitely helps improve their microbiome and digest better. For heartburn, I'll often use something called DGL. DGL is a form of licorice, and you can chew it and it gives relief of heartburn. The other one is aloe gel or aloe juice. Now it has to be pure aloe with no sugar in it, but I have seen it do some amazing things. I've had patients where they tell me they're having such severe chest pressure they think they're having a heart attack, and then they take a sip of aloe and boom, it's gone. They feel amazing. So it's very powerful. Aloe just coats the entire esophagus and reduces inflammation. Peppermint oil is very nice. You can put peppermint oil in your water and it helps with nausea. It really promotes digestion. And you can also buy peppermint in capsules as well. Fennel tea, like we talked about, and ginger tea as well are very good for gut motility, help you digest better. So fiber supplements, so not all fiber is created equal. So some of my patients, when they have Metamucil, which is psyllium, they get bloated. It doesn't work well for them. So my favorite fiber supplement is something called Acacia Senegal, and it's made by the brand Heather's Fiber. This is a special fiber because it's considered a low FODMAP fiber, meaning it doesn't cause bloating, especially if you have SIBO. And the nice thing is it has no taste. You can add it to water and drink it. So I typically have patients start out with a low dose, like 1 tablespoon, and then gradually increase the dose until they feel they're having really good bowel movements every day. So for constipation, my favorite things are magnesium citrate, as I mentioned. I also use aloe capsules. This is different from the aloe gel. These are the actual aloe leaf in a capsule form. Aloe leaf promotes gut motility. And then fiber, like I spoke of, we want to bulk up the stools and titrate up the acacia fiber until the patients are having really good bowel movements. So this is how I evaluate patients in my practice. So I practice integrative medicine. So I always like to look at the whole person. And my goal is always to figure out what are the root causes of symptoms. So often we'll do it in phases. First we'll work on their diet. We'll work on nutrition, get their vitamins optimized. Then we'll work on hormonal balance, both in men and women. We'll work on their digestive health, which is like everything we talked about today. We'll do testing to figure out what their food allergies are and figure out what their sensitivities are. We may do genetic testing, like through 23andMe, to customize recommendations based on their genes. We'll talk about mental, emotional, and spiritual factors that may be affecting their health. Depending on their occupation or their profession and their exposures, we may test for toxins like mercury, arsenic, lead, things that may be affecting their health. And if we find those things, I can help them with a very gentle detox protocol to get those things out of the body. And lastly, we'll look for infections. Is there a virus, a bacteria, or parasite or yeast that may be affecting their health? So the great thing is when we address all of these areas, patients see such an improvement in their health. So I like to provide a very strong preventative approach, but then I also like to do everything possible to help my patients achieve optimal health. You really want them to be feeling great, energetic, strong, productive, and happy. So to learn more about my practice, definitely visit my website. It's oc-integrative-medicine.com. And then on my website, I have links to Facebook and Instagram. So follow me, you'll get all my health updates. And then if you're interested to make an appointment, please give my office a call. I do accept 4 major PPOs, and I am a primary care doctor for teens and adults of all ages. So I just want to thank St. Jude for giving me the opportunity to speak today. And thank you to all my friends and patients for coming out this evening. It's always great to see you all. Thank you.